Namaste viewers, welcome to Gnana Degula channel. Today we will try to understand the Yoga Sutra 45th Yoga Sutra of Vibhuti Pada from Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Let us try to understand in detail, and let us also try to understand the commentaries by Vyasa, Vachaspati, Mishra and others. Now, before we go to the details, I request you to please like, share and then subscribe to my channel. Now let us go through the Sanskrit Sutra. Sthūla svarūpa sūkṣma anvaya arthavattva samyamāt bhūta-jayaḥ. This is the sutra. Now let's try to understand word by word meaning. Sthūla means it is gross, physical, that is tangible. That is those are the aspects of matter. Sthūla. Svarūpa means the essential nature of the element or true nature of the element. How it appears, all those things. Svarūpa. Sūkṣma anvaya. Sūkṣma means very subtle or in the subatomic, atomic form or something like that. Anvaya means how it is related, how it is interrelated, how they are connected, the sequence or internal structure, all those things. Arthavattva, that means purpose, utility or inherent meaning, that is the value, all those things. Samyamāt, from complete restraint and concentration. That is what we have all been discussing, Samyama is dhāraṇā, dhyāna and samadhi. Throughout Vibhuti Pada, this samyama is the central core word here. Samyamāt, bhūta-jayaḥ. Bhūta-jayaḥ means element, all these elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, Panchamahabhuta. You can conquer, mastery over that or control over these things. So, literally it means by performing samyama, that is complete mental restraint and focus on the gross form, the essential nature, the subtle nature, the interrelation, the inherent purpose of all these bhutas, the yogi attains mastery over these elements. This is what it means. Now, how is it explained by Vyasa Maharshi? Vyasa Maharshi explains that the five great elements, Prithvi, Earth, Apaha, Water, Tejaha, Fire, Vayu, Air and Akasha, Space, they all have five levels of perception, rather different levels of perception and reality. Now, there are other things also. Sthūla, that is the gross visible aspect, the tangible material form. The svarūpa, the appearance, the defining characters like, appearance, like, solidity, liquidity, heat, motion, expansion, all those kinds of things. Svarūpa. Sūkṣma anvaya, the subtle essence. There are certain subtle essence which are beyond these sensory perceptions, sensory grasps. That anvaya, how these elements pervade each other and interconnect. These elements, pervade and each other, they are interconnecting. Arthavattva, their purpose or role in sustaining life and the cosmos. So now, when the yogi meditates, that is performs samyama on all five aspects together, individually that is another sadhana, and then together, put all together, he understands the total constitution of the elements, how all these elements are constituted and how they are constitute a physical body or whatever it is, like this. It's not intellectually but experientially. This is rather experientially. This result is bhūta-jayaḥ, that is mastery over matter. he becomes free from the ordinary influence of the elements. Mastery means heat does not burn him, heat doesn't affect him, water does not drown him, air cannot move him without his will. He can become light or heavy at will. He can even make himself invisible or appear in different forms by rearranging elemental forces. This is what it means. Bhūta-jayaḥ means he is control over all these 5 elements. This is what Vyasa Maharshi commentary says. Now, there's one more, Vachaspati Mishra. Tattva Sharadi. Here he says, he explains that this samyama enables the yogi to understand how the 5 elements, these different elements, Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akashat, exist both in the body and in the cosmos. They are there in the body also. The body is there, and then how it is in the Akasha also, in the cosmos. The yogi learns the inner science of transformation, how subtle elements compose the gross and how to dissolve the gross back into the subtle. That is interconnectedness, like that. This is the, you can call it as beginning of the Mahabhuta Siddhi. The yogi's mastery over nature's building blocks. Nature's building, these 5 elements are the nature's building blocks. Mahabhuta Siddhi is the mastery over all these things. Now, there is one more, Vijnana Bhikshu. In his Yoga Vartika, he emphasizes that this sutra is not about performing miracles, but about attaining freedom from the bondage of matter. It's about attaining freedom from the bondage of these prakritis. You have to get out of the influence of these matters. By mastering the bhutas, the yogi is no longer overpowered by the elements. See, these hunger, thirst, cold, heat, decay, all those things will not disturb him. He has already conquered all this hunger. He doesn't feel hungry, he doesn't feel thirsty, he doesn't feel cold, he doesn't feel heat, decay, nothing can disturb him. Thus, Vijnana Bhikshu, he calls this as Prakriti Vijaya, victory over material conditioning. Now, there is one more great philosopher by name Sadashiva Brahmendra. He has noted in his Yoga Sudhakara, notes that Bhutanam Adhikaritvam Yogino Labhate. The yogi gains authority over the elements themselves. He interprets this bhūta-jayaḥ as a state in which the 5 elements obey the yogi's consciousness rather than the other way around. Normally the elements control the human body, but here yogi's consciousness, whatever it says in the 5 elements, they obey it. He clarifies that the yogi does not perform some kind of external manipulations. He rather, by stilling his chitta and realizing oneness with the universal tattva, matter becomes transparent to his will. That is how. This is inner siddhi, not a magical show. It's not a magical show. That's what he feels. There are a lot of examples. Hanuman expanding or contracting his body, Anima Mahima Siddhi, mastery over fire and air elements. Guru Gorakhanath and Sadashiva Brahmendra appearing at distant places, control over Akasha Tattva. So Ramalinga Swamigal, Vallalar, he is said to have transformed his body into pure light, total Bhuta-jayaḥ. Ramalinga Swamigal. So the essence of the sutra is When the yogi performs samyama on the nature of the elements, gross and subtle, he understands the utility or unity of all matter and spirit. He gains command over the elements not by force but by alignment with the universal consciousness. So now, yogina Panchamahabhutanam svarūpam jñāyate tato bhūta-jayaḥ tatveshu svatantriyam. What a beautiful thing, Yogina Panchabhutanam svarūpam jñāyate. The yogi knows the true nature of the five elements. After knowing tato bhūta-jayaḥ, after that, thereby he attains mastery. Tatveshu svatantriyam. Then he will gain freedom over them. So, to summarize this sutra, the sutra teaches that when a yogi meditates deeply on the material world, from its visible form to its invisible essence, he gains intuitive knowledge and control over it. He is no longer bound by the laws of matter because he perceives that matter and consciousness are not separate. That is what he understands. Even here, Patanjali warns in the later sutras that such powers are still obstacles to final liberation. All these you might have achieved, but they are all obstacles to final liberation. If they cause pride or distraction, the true purpose of bhūta-jayaḥ is not to perform miracles, but to transcend material limitation and move closer to kaivalya, absolute freedom. Viewers, with this explanation on this, we conclude this episode. I hope this was quite interesting. Please like, share, and then subscribe to my channel. Please post your comments after having gone through the video talk completely. Thank you, viewers.